YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen were together when Sakasar and Juvie were shot. YNW Bortlen was automatically pulled into the case because he was the one who drove them to the hospital. He initially stood as Melly's co-defendant but has recently decided to cooperate with authorities. Here's everything Bortlen has done so far that allegedly implicates Melly in the double homicide case the state of Florida has against him. YNW Bortlen arrived at the hospital with his two friends who had been shot, sitting in the back seat of his car. He appeared visibly shaken as nurses rushed to help YNW Sakasar and YNW Juvie. However, something didn't sit right. Melly, Sakasar, Juvie, and Bortlen had all left the recording studio together before the tragic incident. Bortlen was wearing a white shirt earlier, but at the hospital he had on a black hoodie, suggesting he may have changed clothes. That alone doesn't mean he was involved. He could have simply had extra clothes in his car, but suspicion began to grow. Things became more questionable when Bortlen gave inconsistent statements about when the shooting happened.
I got on past the light and then it happened
So at the time that you passed Chick-fil-A, did the shooting already happen or no?
No.
Okay.
You said at the time I passed it?
Yeah.
Like a little after. I was saying just a little after.
Okay, so you passed the light over here.
As investigators continued questioning him, his story started to change. It almost seemed like he had a detailed memory of events despite claiming he was ducking and trying to get out of the way. We're not making judgments, but when someone tells different versions of the same story, it raises red flags. Before Bortlen was officially implicated and arrested, he went live on Instagram. He wasn't planning to discuss the case, but fans kept asking. It appeared Melly was in the room, though not on camera. Bortlen repeatedly said that he and Melly were innocent, so much that he even typed it multiple times in the live comments to push the message.
Bingo. Me and Melly, innocent.
Innocent. After the incident, detectives interrogated Bortlen at the hospital. One detective suggested that Bortlen may have recently fired a gun. Bortlen denied it. The detective responded by saying they could tell. Bortlen became defensive, and investigators reassured him they weren't accusing him, just asking questions.
You fired a gun today?
No.
You know they're gonna be able to tell, right?
Yeah, but I ain't fired no gun.
Okay.
How I'm firing?
I'm asking you. I'm not accusing you of anything.
It's understandable for Bortlen to feel nervous given the situation, especially with the controversy surrounding Sakasar and Juvie's deaths. Remember the claim made by Juvie's father, suggesting Melly killed them over money. Bortlen could have been implicated in that theory as well, especially since he reportedly didn't receive any share of the alleged $500,000. Detectives even explained self-defense to him, saying that if someone shot at him and he shot back, that wouldn't be a crime. Yet Bortlen continued, insisting he never touched a gun.
The law allows you to do that, but I just want you to be straight up with me, okay? Because if we test your hands and stuff, it's gonna tell us if you shot a gun today.
No, I didn't shoot a gun today. I didn't shoot no gun today, sir. I was driving. I didn't shoot no gun.
The forensic team later tested Bortlen's hands for gunshot residue.
0 particles characteristic of gunshot residue, and two-component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of gunshot residue and 1 two-component particle.
Results showed traces about 1% of gunpowder residue on Bortlen's fingers from the day of the incident. Gunshot residue testing detects antimony, a rare element found in ammunition. When a gun is fired, particles can land on the shooter's hands and become key evidence. Police use instant shooter identification kits or lab testing with cotton swabs, both of which are accurate most of the time. This contradicted Bortlen's claims. In court, even small lies matter. Inconsistent statements can destroy credibility. These contradictions eventually worked against Bortlen when he expressed willingness to testify against Melly. Fans were shaken by the possibility, fearing it meant Melly was guilty.
Mr. Bradley.
Is that Bortlen Henry?
Yes, sir. He's present.
That you want to back this
Status conference.
Come on up.
And I guess you're already trial to go to Central right now. We're set for October 3rd for trial. Status conference in September. I think we're up schedule.
On July 1st, YNW Bortlen appeared in court but didn't testify against Melly. He was placed under house arrest due to his limited criminal history. He requested permission to attend church and perform at shows, but the judge denied it. Melly's lawyers have consistently argued Bortlen can't be trusted because of his lies.
Those were not Mr. Demon's lies. Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar, You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, 2 dead bodies.
Melly's defense pointed out that Bortlen arrived at the hospital with fresh clothes and gave conflicting statements throughout the investigation. They also noted he had no injuries despite claiming to be present during the shooting.
So the videos of him in the bathroom with the sack of cash.
Anything where he's flashing all the cash, I don't see how any of those things are relevant. They're more and more prejudicial and probative. The gun is more prejudicial and probative. I'm not letting.
Melly's attorneys have attempted to shift blame onto Bortlen. The prosecution still lacks decisive evidence against Melly. If the defense can redirect suspicion, it could save him from a potential death sentence.
You have the projectile coming in, exiting through the top of the skull, and then continuing through the windshield.
Despite defense efforts, attention keeps returning to Melly. Initial claims suggested a drive-by shooting, but later evidence showed bullets inside the car didn't match that story. Prosecutors are hoping for truthful testimony from either Melly or Bortlen. If Bortlen were to fully cooperate, he could still face charges for lying and obstruction. He could receive up to 10 years. Melly, on the other hand, could face life in prison or even the death penalty if gang involvement is proven. Bortlen's credibility is weak, and Melly's lawyers would use that against him. If Melly is innocent and Bortlen lies, Bortlen could end up in prison anyway. On July 19th, Melly's best friend testified, claiming Melly was at home when they learned about Sakasar and Juvie's deaths.
When you heard that, did you see Melly in the house?
Yes.
Did you see Melly how he was dressed in the house?
Yes.
What was he wearing?
Shorts and a t-shirt, I think.
Okay.
What
He said Melly was wearing shorts and a t-shirt and that they later went to Frito's house crying.
What did you guys do?
We were already dressed and stuff, so we just left with Frito's house.
Was anybody upset or crying?
Yeah, we all were crying.
This testimony suggested Melly wasn't in the car during the shooting. However, prosecutors questioned how quickly he appeared to move on afterward. The jury became deadlocked.
Check the box, ask the following question. What if we can't come to a decision? Everyone is stuck on which side they've chosen, signed by the foreperson.
Judge John Murphy instructed them to continue deliberating.
But I want you to go back to the jury room, then taking turns, tell each of the other jurors about any weaknesses of your own position. You should not interrupt each other or comment on each other's views until each of you have had a chance to talk.
After continued disagreement, the judge declared a mistrial.
Simply cannot reach a verdict, then return to the courtroom and I will declare this case mistrial and will discharge you with my sincere appreciation for your services. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now retire and continue with your deliberation.
Some companies have since used Melly's case for profit. BaitOnline_ag posted an image asking whether he was guilty or innocent. The case remains unresolved. Without the murder weapon or DNA evidence, prosecutors still lack a clear motive. Speculation ranges from money to gang affiliation, which Melly's lawyers deny. Until new evidence emerges, the truth remains unclear. Bortlen faces risk, no matter what he does, and Melly continues waiting as fans hold on to hope.